So guys, we'll start with the session. I'm Rishika. I'll be your host for the day. And before we start with the session, I'll give you a quick introduction. So hello all, welcome to yet another captivating Wellness Wednesday webinar with us. I hope you all are doing absolutely great. So in a world that often seems chaotic and overwhelming, it is no surprise that many of us find ourselves questioning about our own path, our passions, and about a true purpose in life, right? So amidst all of this, the concept of Ikigai shines like a beacon of hope. So how many of you all have already read this book Ikigai, which went, very famous recently? Or do you guys know about what Ikigai is? Has anyone read the book already? Okay, Sharad has read the book. That's great. So if you haven't, this is the right time. So Ikigai, it is a concept that originates from the enchanting traditions of Japan. And let's meet Francis, our expert, who will help us delve into the concept of Ikigai and enlighten us with his ideology. So to help you understand Francis a little better, Francis Rebello is a leadership coach, facilitator, mentor, and a professional certified coach from International Coaching Federation. Francis has more than 30 years of experience in building organizational culture and ethos, promoting work ethic excellence, performance management, decision-making, problem-solving, and personal and professional development. He has delivered sessions for organizations like Maruti Suzuki, Hero MotoCorp, Mahindra and Mahindra, and Videocon. He has experience working with C-suite executives, senior leaders, managers, and entrepreneurs. Thank you so much, Francis, for joining us today to enlighten us about Ikigai. Over to you.
Okay. Thanks, Rishika, and good afternoon to all the participants. I don't know, good afternoon or good evening. What would it be now? Good afternoon or good evening? 4 o'clock is that the cusp of the afternoon and the evening. So good afternoon, good evening to everybody. And we come here for this session on Ikigai. We are right now 26 participants, I see. And just a quick poll, like just a quick show of hands maybe, or just a word in the chat box, yes or no. How many of you are mothers already? Let's see how many are mothers or the fathers also. 2 participants. Okay, 3. Okay, nice. 5, 6. That's about 20%, about 25%. Good. 6, 7. Wonderful. So, for those who are not yet parents or not parents, I'm sure you know people who have been parents. I mean, parents are quite a common feature all around us. Not only our own parents who are of a different generation, but even among your colleagues, you would be having people who are parents. While we are going through this session, I want you to keep them in mind. Because in my opinion, parenting is a lot about Ikigai. Although that's not part of the book, I think that should have been part of the book. In my opinion, parenting is all about Ikigai. So keep them in mind and you will see their experience, what they are doing. You will see Ikigai in action among people who are parents, particularly parents of small children, babies who cannot take care of themselves, babies who need to be taken care of for every small little thing like feeding and washing, toileting, whatever else, right? They cannot express, they cannot communicate, they cannot show their gratitude. They cannot really do anything, and the parents do it just, and it's almost like a one-way street. What is it that gets them to do it? It is Ikigai. And we'll see how this Ikigai comes into practice. So what is this Ikigai? Let me start the screen sharing. Can you see the screen now, Rashika?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yeah. Okay. So, Ikigai, finding Ikigai is essentially a search, continuous search, ongoing search, never ending search for purpose, meaning, happiness, and fulfillment. And for those of us who have the parents of newborn babies in mind, you will see all these four things are there at the top of their mind. They are not doing it for what the kid can give them. They are not doing it for what the child can give back to them. They are doing it purely because they want to do it, not because they have to do it. Some of the parents don't do it. They kind of outsource it to their maids and ayahs. In my opinion, they're losing out on something very, very precious. Right?
Francis,
Yes,
just a
please.
small
Yeah.
request. Can we
Yeah.
make the presentation full screen?
It's not full screen. Sorry. I thought it was full screen. No, now it has gone down.
Yes, I think this is better.
This is full screen now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah? Okay, great. Right. So, search for meaning, search for purpose in life, search for happiness, search for fulfillment. And when we say it is an ongoing process, it is an ongoing process. Just a minute. I was worried about this. Just a
He'll be back. I think there is something urgent. He was waiting for someone.
No problem. No problem at all. Guys, if you guys have any question at any point of time, you can just raise your hands and we will enable you to either speak or you can drop your questions in the chat box and Francis will take ahead all of your questions.
Yeah, sorry, my apologies there. Somebody at the door, which is just behind me. So there was no way I could ignore it. Right. So let's get on and let's get on with the first thing of yeah, let's start. What happened there? So let's start digging. Let's start digging into ourselves. Let's start digging into our experiences. Let's start digging into our aspirations, our hopes, whatever it is that makes us who we are. This session is a reflective session, and I would request you all to be as reflective as you can. You don't have to share anything. If you want to share, please feel free to share. All what you share would be held in confidence among the people here, I suppose. So if you feel like sharing anything, please go ahead and share, but you don't really have to share. But what I would request you all to do is to be as reflective as possible. Right. So we come to the first stage here. All of us want to make a change in our careers. We get bored of what we are doing. The tolerance level for that is going smaller and smaller. A few months into the job, the routine of the job hits you and you're looking for a change. There is a certain irritating person.
Francis, we're not able to hear you.
What happened? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. So the people are constantly looking for change. They're looking for a different way. They're looking for some change in life. It could be things like an irritating colleague. It could be like routineness in the job, getting bored. I hear this constant complaint, I am not growing. Hello. Who grows every day? I mean, it's that growth is a slow process. It takes time. So people are looking for a change all the time. And most of these changes are because of things happening outside the person, happening in the external world. And somewhere or the other, that external world cannot be controlled by you. I live with my mom. She's 96 years old. She still wants to control the revolution of the earth and the rotation of the earth. That has not changed still. And at 96, she's lucky enough to take care of her daily needs and take care of herself and everything. But at the end of the day, we have to learn to find peace and happiness within ourselves. Ikigai is the search for a peace, search for happiness, search for fulfillment within us, rather than looking at it looking for it in the outside world. Sometimes, especially the people who are the parents here, young parents, you might have taken a career break. Now you're looking to get back into the thing, and I want to do something different. I meet a lot of students in my management classes who were software engineers. They realize they are into something called a dead-end job and they want to change. All of us are looking for this happiness, but a lot of us do not know where to start. So this is the digging session is all about trying to find out where to start and what it is that one can do. So let's get on to the first thing. Why is Ikigai important? Primarily because finding your purpose is an empowering process. It gives you something to do. It gives you something to look forward to. It gives you something to do that you want to do. So that is what the Ikigai gives you. It helps you reflect, first of all, on what you have achieved so far. What are the things that give you the most happiness and pleasure so far? Things that you see as an achievement. Just reflect back on any achievement, and if anybody wants to share an achievement, they are free to share. Look at the achievements. Are the achievements something that you have done because you wanted to do, first of all? You were so engrossed in it. You did not do it for anybody else. You did it primarily for yourself. It could be small things like, developing a routine in life. It could be a job-related achievement. It could be anything. It could be a course you have done. Whatever it is. Whatever we do, there is something worthwhile in that. And if there is nothing worthwhile, why do you do it? So whatever we do, there's something worthwhile. Even if it is, as in my first job, I realized a very important part of the job, which was not mentioned in the job description, was going and saying good morning to the boss every morning. Every morning, all the subordinates got together with the boss, and the boss was on a chair, which was on a platform, which was slightly higher than the rest. And we were all at ground level. He was about 6 inches higher than us. Plus the seat was also, kind of little higher. And like a royal in front of the subjects he would have. And I didn't realize the purpose of it. I did not go because it didn't make sense. But then it's only when he explained, yes, there is a bit of drama over there. But the purpose of it is, as an HR person, to discuss about any problems that could come up in the plant in the day ahead. Now, there were no problems, which was a good thing, but that was the whole purpose of that. So even if it is of something as irrelevant as saying good morning to your boss every day, there is something worthwhile in it. Can you find what is worthwhile in whatever you are doing? And once you find it, you will find even that is an achievement. It will help you find out what direction you want to go and what is the future ahead of you. So this is where Ikigai is important. It gives you something to do. It gives you something to look forward to. It gives you a sense of achievement. And everybody who has achieved anything in life feels happy about it. Any questions so far, Rishika?
I don't see any question, guys.
You don't
have
see any questions. Okay, right. So that's okay. So let's go ahead then. Right. So why is Ikigai important? So it is similar to the French concept of raison d'être. I think that's the way it is pronounced. I do not know French. The reason for being, the reason to get up in the morning. Are you the kind of person who jumps out of bed and looks forward to the day? Or are you the kind of person who has to be dragged out of bed and you're cursing the world and everybody and everything in it? two extremes, I know. All of us are somewhere in the middle. Is there something for you to look forward to when you get up in the morning? Now, your Ikigai is that. And again, go back to that young mother. She may not have slept the whole night because the baby has been crying or the baby has refused to sleep. These babies generally have a mind of their own. They sleep when they want to sleep, and they get up when they want to get up, and they cry when they want to cry, and you're supposed to do something about it. The mother will do it willingly and happily all the time, though it is very, very tiring, though it is very frustrating, though it gets on their nerves, but they will do it. The second reason why Ikigai is important is finding your purpose and living your true purpose. In our Indian philosophy, we have a very nice concept of the Atma and the Brahman. The Atma is always finding a way to become one with the Brahman, the universe. The universe is our reason, is our purpose in life, and our soul is looking for that reason. Ikigai is that soul in search of the Brahman, in search of the universe where the soul can immerse itself totally. You are so immersed in it that there is no difference between you and your work. That is why when I hear of people talking about this work-life balance, I find it a little funny. Your work has to be your life has to be your work. Whether it is the mother with the child, whether it is the spouse with the spouse, whether it is the parent with the grown-up child, whether it is at work, it is not as if there are two different lives you're leading, your work life and your personal life, and you leave your work life and you get home, and then you leave your home and you go to work. If there is some problem at home, it goes to work with you. You can't just leave it there. Similarly, if there's a problem in the office, it comes home. You have to find the purpose in whatever is happening. And the last one is, once you have this synchronization of this work and life, and you have this synchronization of the work and the purpose, you have an well-aligned body, soul, and spirit. All three aspects of you are in perfect sync, and leads you to peace and happiness in life. This is what Ikigai is all about. This is why Ikigai is important. And in today's world, with the post-COVID era, with the whole emphasis on mental well-being, with the mental stresses being caused by the COVID world, and subsequently with the stresses caused by a new way of working, the world of work has changed irreversibly, and it's just going to change further and further. We have to learn to adapt. We have to learn to change. And it's only once we are at peace with ourselves that we can find a way to adapt to the world outside. Right? So it is a Japanese concept, as Rishika mentioned earlier. The reason to get up in the morning, the reason for being. There are two words. Iki means meaning of life, and gai means your realization of the hope. So that is what Ikigai is all about. And if that is there, we come to the book which Rishika talked about. This is the book. It's not a very thick book. It's quite a nice book. It's quite a thin book. And I do find a lot of repetition in it, but perhaps that is necessary, because I think the authors are trying to emphasize certain points by, repetition, slightly a different concept, the facet and all that, but a lot of repetition, but that's why it is there. So a few of the words in bold letter: happiness, always being busy, meaning of life, well-being, life satisfaction, the joy from doing something, sense of purpose, life is valuable, you have an impact. These are all the words and these are all the points which the authors of the book have brought about. Again, keep in mind that mother, the young mother with a baby, newborn child, and you will find that all this is happening in her life. And I'm saying the mother because however I may like to look at the world, at the end of the day, the father and the mother, they do take care of the child together. But somehow I do find, at least in my friend circle, the mother is the one who invariably does more of the work than the father. It's not that the father doesn't want to do it. It's not that the father is not capable of doing it. But the mother, I think, ends up doing more work. Again, not because she has to do it, but because she wants to do it. I've asked a lot of my friends and a lot of my students now who are becoming young mothers. I keep asking them this, and they said, no, sir, we want to do it. So the husband is there, yes, but the mother wants, for example, cleaning the child after the child does a little bit of susu potty. The mother wants to ensure that it is properly done. It's not that the father cannot do it. The father can also do it. But the mother, because this is a sense of purpose of a mother. Right, let's go on. So these are some of the things that are there. But do you understand Ikigai? It's a passion, a dream, a mission, among other things, right? It's found in the smallest daily rituals and the biggest part of your life job. As I mentioned, even a simple thing like saying good morning to your boss, you can find your Ikigai over there. Getting up in the morning and coming bright-faced to the dining table for your breakfast, you will have Ikigai over there. Just imagine if every day in the morning, everybody comes with, solemn faces, bugged faces. How is the breakfast table atmosphere going to be? And put that against everybody is smiling, everybody is happening, hello, hello, and things like that. So that Ikigai, it's in the smallest daily rituals you can find your Ikigai. There is a purpose. And as I mentioned, if you do not find any purpose in anything that you're doing, just don't do it. It's as simple as that. Something that motivates you to keep going. Again, go back to the mother with the child. The child does not give any gratification. The child does not give anything to the mother, but the mother keeps pouring out her labor, and they call it a labor of love. It is the whole purpose of the child and the mother and child relationship that keeps going. It is not linked to society. It's not linked to money. It's not linked to status. It is you yourself who are responsible for it. Nobody else. Only you can find your Ikigai. Even if you go to the best guru, in my opinion, I have not yet gone to too many gurus, but even if you go to the best guru, they will also tell you this. It is something that you have to find for yourself. And as I mentioned right in the beginning, it's an ongoing, continuous, never-ending search. Because the moment you have found your Ikigai in one thing, another thing will come and you will have to redo the whole process and find your Ikigai. So it's not linked to society. It's not linked to job. It's not linked to money. It's not linked to anything. It is just linked to your being as a person. Everyone takes time to find Ikigai. Some people find it faster. Some people find it slower. In certain areas, it is faster. Certain areas, it is slower. A person suffering from an incurable disease, for example, may take a long time to find meaning and purpose in the disease. And until the person finds that purpose in the disease, they're going to fight it. But somewhere or the other, I do believe, and I am talking from my own personal experience of a brother who died of cancer. He suffered for about 6 years. And I remember the first 4 years, he was struggling against it. And then something came, some change happened. Somebody came and spoke to him. I really do not know what happened. He never shared that part with me. But after that, he became a peaceful person. And once he became a peaceful person, the whole meaning of having that cancer, he knew he's going to die. He knew life is going to come to an end, but it happened very, very peacefully. And in fact, it happened so peacefully that it was almost as if he knew when he's going to die, because the last time he went to the hospital, he told he was just about 25, 26. And he went over there. Our classmates were the doctors and the interns and the house people over there, house doctors over there. And he told them, I am not coming back. This is the last time you're seeing me. He shook hands with them. He went away, and true to his word, he did not go back. So that's the kind of somewhere I do believe he found his Ikigai, even in an incurable disease like cancer. And the last one is everyone's Ikigai is a unique Ikigai, like the person. Everybody is a unique person. And just as everybody is a unique person, the Ikigai is also unique. And it will change from time to time. It will change from person to person. It will not be the same. Any questions here? Any clarifications from anybody?
I don't see any questions
You
yet.
don't see any questions. I hope people are listening and they're not gone to sleep. Because this 4 o'clock is a time to go to have a nice little nap. Oh, there's a nice
Yes.
thumbs up
Everyone's
there.
awake, and Solomon dropped
Very good. So somebody is saying something good. Thank you very much. It makes me feel nice. Yeah, my own Ikigai also has to come in somewhere or the other. So that's nice. Thank you very much. So let's go ahead then. Let's go ahead. So what we are going to do today in the next half an hour or so is just start on the process of discovering our Ikigai. I can assure you, I mean, if you find your Ikigai in the next half an hour, very, very good. But I would not count on that. But I do hope you know what you need to do to find your Ikigai. And the first thing that you need to do there is, as I mentioned, it's a lifelong individual exploration, never ending, never completing. And it requires a lot of investment of time and energy. It's not going to happen just like that. It's not going to happen by accident. You have to do something to get it to happen. A word of caution over here. It's not just one purpose in life. As I mentioned, everything you do has a purpose. And in every purpose, there is an Ikigai. So there's at a time, you will be having multiple purposes in life, and you will be able to find out all those individual purposes in life. So it's not just one thing. It's not that once you found it, you can relax. Yes, I've got my Ikigai now. Thank you very much. No, it's not going to happen, because the moment that happens, another purpose will come up in life. Right? So let's try it today. So it's basically these 4 questions which are there. And these are the questions I want you to reflect on. And we will just go through these slides. While going through these slides, I would suggest and urge all of you to take a piece of paper and write it down. Think about it, write it down while you're listening to me. Just write down the things as we go along. And maybe at the end of the day, at the end of this next half hour, you will have something in your hand which will throw some light. You may need to do this repeatedly. I'm sure Rishika will share these slides with you, and perhaps the recording also. I'm not too sure. But whatever it is, look at it, go through the slides and redo it. And I hope you are able to make this a practice in daily life. So let's go into the first thing. The first thing is Ikigai is at the center of all these 4 circles. It's like a Venn diagram. And there are certain things which are mentioned over there. And we'll see this Venn diagram in different forms as we go along. Now, Ikigai is at the intersection of all of them. So Ikigai depends on something that you love doing, something that you are good at, something that the world at large needs. And lastly, it is something that you can get paid for. Now, when I said get paid for, it's not only in money terms. You can get paid for either by intrinsic compensation or extrinsic compensation. You can get paid for in tangible ways and intangible ways. So even that mother with a child is getting paid for what she is doing. The sense of satisfaction she feels, the sense of happiness she feels, the sense of relief, the kind of dreams she has for the child as she is taking care of the child, the kind of hopes that she nurtures, those are all part of the payment. Those are all part of the intrinsic compensation. And one has to be aware of what am I getting out of this. Okay, so let's get on to the first thing over there. And this is where I would want you to write. So we take the first one. What do you love doing? And go back to your life as a child. When you were a child, what are the kind of things you loved doing? What are the kind of things that you looked forward to? I'm sure it was not studies. I'm sure it was not maths. I'm sure it was not finding out what to study for the exam. We did all that because we had to do it. But now, imagine if that what could be done in a way that we loved doing it. Imagine if we loved doing maths, what would have been different in our lives? Our whole childhood would have been different. Now, unfortunately, school life is highly abusive as far as children are concerned. It's a very abusive system, but we have not been able to find anything different. So we are stuck with it. But imagine now if that thing could be different. We've got a little 4-year-old at home. His mother takes care of my mother. This little chap has grown up in our house, not 4 years. Now he's now close to 6 years old. He loves being with me because on my table where I'm sitting over here, obviously you can't see it, there are a whole lot of small things. And he loves playing with them. And he's totally engrossed. In fact, he will take this, you see this thing? This is one of those, what are called hose clamps. He'll take this hose clamp and he can be engrossed with this for 1 hour. Can you imagine a person? Now that is the joy of being a child. That's the joy of being a child. And he'll put this and he'll do something with it and he'll put it here, put it there. He'll find 100 ways of using this small little hose clamp. Okay. So there are plenty of such things lying around. They're all part of my hobbies, which I do. And his imagination runs wild. For example, there is this glue gun over here. I am sure many of you would have seen this glue gun. For him, this glue gun is Spider-Man's gun. And when he puts Spider-Man, that the net comes out. So Spider-Man has the glue gun. So imagine now this imagination running. So think of your own lives as children. The smaller, the better. When you were not too bothered about what the world said about you. When you were not too concerned about the world. When you did not actually, I know this is rather harsh. When you are not too bothered about being an acha bacha. You did things because you wanted to do it. Go back to that. The kind of games which you played. The kind of friends that you had. Just write down words, write down sentences, write down names, write down as much as you can. Or what were the activities you love doing now? Now, when I'm involved in one of these hobbies that you saw all these other knickknacks around here, I can go for an hour or two and not even be aware of drinking water. My mother has to call me, come on, lunchtime here, you're already half an hour late. And I have to leave it. I've totally lost count of time. Right? Something that absorbs you so totally that there's a psychological term for that, you are in the flow. The FLOW flow, it's like the water. When the water is flowing, it carries things along. Whatever is being carried along doesn't have to struggle, doesn't have to work. The flow itself carries the person along. So what are the kind of things that you love doing now? What are the kind of things that make you happy and bring a smile to your face? It could be also, what is it your dream? What is your dream project? Could it be going to Mars? Could it be doing something, making a change in the world? You may not be able to do anything about it, but is it something that occupies your mind? Is it something that keeps you occupied and keeps you engrossed? Anything of that sort. All these are the source of the passion. Now, passion is a word used quite loosely nowadays. Most young people, they talk about passion, and the passion is what they like. And if you go a little deeper into it, the passion is what they can do to impress others. Passion is not about impressing others. Passion is about impressing and being satisfied and valuing yourself and finding more worth in yourself. You're not doing it for others. You're not doing it for the world. You're doing it totally for yourself. That mother, when she is cleaning that little baby who has done susu potty, is doing it for herself. She does it because she wants to do it. She's not doing it because the neighbors will come and say, you're the best mother to clean susu potty. She's not doing it for others. She's doing it purely for herself. We'll just wait a minute or two while you write down. And in the meantime, if you have any clarifications, please feel free and ask. And for those of you who are imaginative, for those of you who are creative, innovative, if you can create a visual for yourself, some sort of a diagram, some sort of a graphic, try to create this graphic, because a picture speaks 1,000 words. Maybe one picture, it says much more than a whole paragraph. Nowadays, paragraphs have become dangerous because Chat GPT writes all the paragraphs you want. I don't know whether Chat GPT does graphics also. I must ask some of my students about that, whether Chat GPT can do graphics, can do visuals. Well, if it's not there, it will happen soon, I'm sure. So even if it's not there now, it will not be long before Chat GPT, or maybe they'll call it something else, which will create visuals and all. Okay, right. So now we go on to the second circle over there. What you are good at. We all would like to do more of what we are good. You know, there's this whole, it's almost like a what do you call it? A flow in management called appreciative inquiry. We as children have always been brought up to cure our faults, to fill the gaps, to strengthen our weaknesses. Now, appreciative inquiry turns it on its head. Forget about your weaknesses. Look at your strengths. Look at what you're good at. Look at what gives you happiness, and do more of that. The moment you do more of that, your weaknesses take care of itself. You don't have to do something to strengthen your weaknesses, but do you know what you're good at? So what are your strengths? What is it that gives you energy while working, after working? You're so engrossed with what you're doing and you're full of energy at the end of it. You know, you spent 6 hours at your job, you get 6 hours at your work, and yet you're as fresh as ever. One of the things that I do nowadays, I mean, I've been doing it ever since the COVID time, is go on a bicycle ride. The cycle ride I find lovely for this purpose.
I so agree with that. I love going on my motorcycle.
Not motorcycle, this is the bicycle.
For me, it's my motorcycle.
For you, it's a motorcycle. Good. For me, it's a bicycle. It is something that you don't have to concentrate on and your mind is free. I don't go with anybody. I go alone. And while I'm going alone, I don't have to talk to anybody. My mind is clear and I'm doing all these things. So while you're doing it, something that you love doing, just let it be in your head and you'll be surprised. I started off with thinking 10, 20 kilometers was a lot. I ended up doing 100 kilometers.
Wow.
Because those days there was no traffic on the road. So you could go on and on and on, and I would go on, and still I would be energetic and fresh at the end of 4 hours of continuous non-stop on the bicycle. The only time I had to stop was to buy water, because I would consume the 2 bottles of water that I had. So I had to buy water because, of course, the temperature in Delhi gets hot. You have to drink the water. It's prudent to drink the water. But that was the kind of stuff. It is something that you are full of energy, that you so love doing that tiredness, even physical tiredness, does not hit you. What are your skills? Hard skills, soft skills, whatever skills you want to call it. Skills are something that you are good at. You take pride in it. You do it in a way that makes you happy. You do it in a way that keeps you, you take pride in what you are doing, not for other people's praise, but you want to do it well. What Or you could look at, what do people come to you for help for? What do they come to you because they know you are good at? That is feedback for you. What can you teach others? These are some of the things that would be that would identify what you're good at. Again, take some time to think about this. Write down just words, maybe phrases, maybe words, sentences if you want, though that's too much work. And then you will have a kind of creating a visual for yourself on the strengths that energize you, right? The skills that you have learned, which could be of use for others or for yourself or whatever. And the last one is the skills you can teach others. Others come to you for help. Others come to you to learn something. Any questions, Harshita, as yet? Rishika?
No, Francis, I don't see any questions.
Are people thinking or are people sleeping?
I don't think they're sleeping because we are getting some thoughts and inputs on the chat box every now and then.
Oh, we are getting some inputs on the chat box. That's nice. That's nice. That's helpful.
It's visible to you as well, Francis, I think.
I can only see the screen over here.
Ah, okay. You're sharing.
Yeah, sharing the screen. So I can only see the screen over here. Oh, yeah. The chat box has got 40 chats in there. Okay. Yeah. I see that bar on top.
Yes.
Oh, so that's nice. So people agree with me, right? But toys and games. I love playing with toys even now. I love playing with Meccano. I love playing with Lego. So this little kid, we got him a Lego set. I play more with the Lego perhaps than he does. Yes. Chat GPT is capable. Yes, I suppose that is my question of producing a visual. Solomon. Yeah. So nice. Good. That's nice. Okay. So let's go ahead to the third part. The third part is what matters to you. So we started off what you love doing, what you are good at. Now the third part is what matters to you. Why is it important for you? What impact do you want to have on the community, group, family, office, society, your friend circle, whatever it is? What is it that inspires you? What is it that keeps you going? On the other side of inspiration is anger and frustration. When people don't do, what is it that makes you angry? When people are not seeing your point of view, why is it that you get angry? Right? So now this is the impact you are having on the world. This is something that you are doing so that there is a value that in what you are doing. There is something that you are investing in the world. You are adding to the world. You are doing it to make a better world. Now, unless you find this is the purpose, and that purpose has to come from you. You're not doing it because the world requires it. You're doing it because you want to do it for the world. That's the difference over here. What matters to you when you're talking about impact on the world? You do it because you want to do it. Okay? So, and when you find people are not responding and all, does that make you angry and frustrated? If it makes you angry and frustrated, it is a good thing. Believe me, it's a good thing. Anger and frustration are good because it lets you know how the world is looking, whether you need to do it little differently or slightly differently or radically differently. So this is the same kind of thing. And here again, you can create a visual on the impact you can have, the frustrations, the anger, the pride and happiness, the legacy you want to leave. That mother with that newborn baby is leaving a legacy. Now, whether she communicates to the baby or not, there is a legacy that she wants to leave with that baby. There is a legacy that the parents want to leave with the children. Sometimes the parents impose that legacy on the children. That's when we have problems in life. But if that same legacy can be inspirational, if that same legacy can be a way that the child also wants to do it, the child is also enamored, then you will see that the child and the parents, they have a very lovely relationship. Unfortunately, I don't see too much of it in the world nowadays. I see more of the other side, where the parents are imposing their will and their unfulfilled dreams and desires on the children. They want to fulfill their unfulfilled dreams and desires through their children, and that is where the problem starts. But that's a different story altogether. And let's go to the last part. We are running out of time. Do something you can be paid for. There is compensation involved, and that compensation is valuable for you. That compensation has a certain importance for you. So when that mother takes care of that child, the very fact that that child is clean and that child is healthy is satisfaction. That is important for the mother. That is necessary for the mother. So what jobs you can do, the skills or whatever it is, the kind of things that you have where it can be used. So that would be the first thing. What can you sell? What can you hawk? What can you share? What can you give people? Because if it's not valuable for others, it's basically a waste of time. So you can do it for yourself. You can do it for making yourself happy. But if you can also get paid for it in terms of appreciation, in terms of helping other people, in terms of inspiring other people, so much the better. Recently, in fact, I met this person a few years ago. One ex-Navy chap called Abhilash Tomi. Abhilash Tomi is the first and only Indian to circumnavigate the globe non-stop in a sailboat. He's done it not once, he's done it twice. And the third time he tried it, earlier in the middle, the second time he tried it, actually, he almost got killed. But that desire to leave that impact on the world was so great. When he talks, you must see the inspiration he has on young minds, whether they are small children or whether they are college students. The same person talks to them, the same person inspires both the audiences amazingly. That's what he can sell. He can sell whatever inspiration he had, whatever desires he had, he can sell that to children and get them to go beyond their self-imposed limitations. What problem would it solve? How would it kind of change the world? How would it kind of inspire people? These are some of the things that is there in what you can be paid for. And there again, there's a visual. Okay, so once you have done these 4 steps, 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, we come across this, as I told you, it's that same Ikigai concept in a different way. So you will see your profession, for example, the kind of work that you're doing has to be something you can be paid for and which you are good at. Otherwise, don't take that profession. You're in the wrong boat. I'm sorry. Or for example, vocation. There are certain things that people want to do where you're getting paid for and which will make a difference to the world. That is a vocation. So for example, being a doctor or being a teacher, these are all called vocations. They are also professions, but they are vocations also. So vocation and a profession, both those 2 things over there, one is the vocation over here and profession over there, means you have to be good at what you are doing. You should be getting paid for it and the world requires it. So have a look at this and see whether it makes sense to you. And this would be some way in which you can find your Ikigai. The moment you have identified some of this, you will find something which is common among all of them. That is your Ikigai. So now the next step. Once you have answered all the questions, you can start seeing themes, keywords. You would have all those words you have written down in step 1, A, B, C, D, right? Populate your Ikigai map, the one which was there earlier. Is it something that excites you? Is it something that you're scared of or full of dread? My goodness, can I do this? If you come to that step, you are well on your way to locating your Ikigai. So it is not only something that excites you, it should be something that scares you a bit and even leaves you full of dread. Ask the parents, ask the mother who's just become a mother, those 6-8 people. Did the thought of having a baby, did it leave you full of dread? You're bringing a new life into the world. You're going to be responsible for this child. You're going to be responsible to identify and nurture. Is it something that you are full of dread of? That is where your Ikigai is going to be. So this is another way of looking at it, the same kind of thing, right? So you can write down all the points over there and see how you want to go about it. The same diagram in a different way is over here, where you have certain areas where the intersection of becomes more and more. Just one step away from your Ikigai is the satisfaction, the being comfortable, being excited, being delighted. These are certain things which are just one step away from your Ikigai, which will come from your passion, your mission, your profession, and your vocation. From all of that, it will come. And once you have identified all of that, you will find your Ikigai in life. How do you bring it all together? How do you work it all together? How do you tie up all the loose ends? Very simple. You create a plan. Now, when I talk about plan, I'm not talking about deadlines and targets. This is not about deadlines and targets. What are some of the things that you can make into a ritual? When I'm talking about a ritual, I'm talking about something that you do without thinking about it. But it's necessary. A ritual is, for example, brushing your teeth in the morning. That's a ritual, right? Why do you brush your teeth in the morning? If you have brushed your teeth at night before going to sleep, why do you brush your teeth in the morning as soon as you get up? It is better to brush your teeth after you have your breakfast because there's a long gap until you have lunch. So it makes more sense. Now you will only do it once you start questioning the rituals. Unfortunately, we take rituals for granted. Unfortunately, we take rituals and we execute the rituals without thinking about it. The thoughtfulness and the mindfulness with which rituals need to be done become important. So create rituals, question rituals. Second one, hobbies. Hobbies are one where it involves you as totally as possible. Hobbies are things which engage you to the extent which your job perhaps will never be able to engage you. And the last one is your jobs. What are you going to do to get money, to put food on the table, to have a comfortable life, to have the requirements? Those are the jobs. And don't forget, while you are talking about your rituals and hobbies and jobs, don't forget about your roles and relationships. All of us have got different roles in life. We have to fulfill those roles. That mother has to be a mother. If she has brought a life into the world, she has to be the mother, there has to be the father. So there are roles which are a big part of your Ikigai. If you do not fulfill the role, do not think you will find your Ikigai. It will not happen. Okay? So roles and relationships, you are putting them both in the same box. They are not different things. because roles are basically coming out of relationships. And I think we have come to the top of the hour now, and there's the last slide, I think so. Yeah. So enabling your Ikigai to flourish. These are just some small little points. Start small. Look for the small things in life. Discover your Ikigai. Let it start becoming a habit with you. Thinking in a different way, acting in a different way, behaving in a different way, being in a different way. Second one is to release yourself, accept your uniqueness. Stop comparing yourself to others, please, everybody. That's the biggest source of pain and disappointment in life. Harmony and sustainability. It should be something that you do without struggling. You will have the joy of little things in life and being in the here and now. Don't live in the future. Don't live in the past. We love living in the past. We dream about the future and we ruin a perfectly normal being the present by living in the past. So with that, we've come to the end, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for your attention. I think we have a few minutes left for any questions, any comments, anything which anybody wants to say.
Guys, if you have any questions, any thoughts, you can
just
this
raise your hands. Yeah, raise your hands, please.
Solomon extends a thank you for the great session.
Okay, thank you very much, Solomon. Good to hear that. I hope it has helped you and helped everybody else. Okay, so thank you very much to all the participants, all 30, 40 of you who are there. Thank you very much, and wish you all the best in discovering your Ikigai as you go along. Over to you, Rishika.
Thank you so much, Francis, for the enlightening session. And I'm really, really sure that a lot of people did get some clarity, could, if they couldn't find their Ikigai, they did find the path to finding their Ikigai.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm sure they will go back and like I wrote down the questions, the steps, and I was looking for the answers already.
Very
so this
nice.
was very impactful, very conversational. Thank you so much for the session.
Yeah, thank you very much. And thanks to all the participants. Thank you very much. And in case you have any questions, we saw the contact from either from Rishika or from Harshita through Manushala. Please feel free to reach out. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you very much.
I hope you all have a great day. Have a great day, Francis.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to another session with you.
Yes, sure. Yeah, some other time. Yeah, thank you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.